Give me just 1 second. I'm gonna let my dog in so she stops crying because it makes me feel bad. I'll be right back. All right, and as you can see behind me, I have a whiteboard. So I am planning on using this today to teach. So I will talk a little bit about how that's working for you too here in just a minute. So I will definitely check in with you before I make that a teaching tool in Zoom. But I do want to turn it over to Jamie, who's going to give a commemorative speech. And Jamie, I'm ready whenever you are. I would love it if you could stand to give the speech if it's possible.
Let me see. I do it right. Your name. I'm sorry.
No worries. Get set up. I know this is, it's we're working with it. We're working in a Zoom space. You're doing fine.
Is this good? I don't think so.
We'll make sure it doesn't cut off the top of your head. So right now I'm only seeing you from like the neck down. So, but once you get in place, I'll help you set the camera up. I won't mute my mic yet. And I am asking if you are able to please start your cameras, because being in class, I like to physically see you. I know I have communicated with a couple people who can't do that today, but if you can, please do that.
Is this good?
Yeah, that's good.
All right, cool. All right. Hello everyone. So like many people, I used to think that the violin was a boring instrument and was only used for classical music. But what if I told you that it could be also used for dubstep too? Hi, my name is Jamie Kirshner, and my tribute speech is for Lindsey Stirling. If I never discovered her music, I probably wouldn't appreciate the art of the violin as much as I do now. So a little bit of background on her. She was born on September 21st, 1986, and she started showing interest in music as early as age 5. Her parents supported her and hired a violin teacher for her, and in 2007, she created a YouTube channel and posted covers of various songs from different genres. Her music video, Crystallize, was the 8th most watched video of 2012, and her cover of Radioactive with Pentagons won Response of the Year in the first YouTube Music Awards in 2013. Her debut album, Lindsey Stirling, was nominated for the 2014 Billboard Music Awards for Top Dance/Electronic Music. Her second album, Shatter Me, won the 2015 Billboard Music Awards for the Top Dance Electronic Album. And in 2017, her YouTube channel exceeded 10 million subscribers and over 2 billion total views. Stirling is someone who strives to be the best that they can, no matter what. If you have a passion for something, she thinks it's good to work hard no matter who tries to bring you down. Like every celebrity out there, they have struggles they either have overcome or are still in the process of overcoming. Before releasing her debut album, Lindsay went on America's Got Talent. And while the judges were, in general, impressed with her style, with playing the violin and dancing at the same time, one of them told her that her performance sounded like a bunch of rats being strangled on live TV. She also struggled with an eating disorder while working for a treatment center for troubled girls. She said that Shatter Me was her story of overcoming that eating disorder. Listening to Lindsay made me appreciate the art of the violin. She made me realize that an instrument is not only meant for one genre. She also taught me to never change myself to please others. My favorite quote of hers is, "The only reason I am successful is because I have stayed true to myself." So Lindsay's music has been a part of my life for many years. She has a sound for every mood, and her unique style keeps me pulled in. Her music taught me to be open-minded about other genres of music, and that the instrument that you think is meant for one could be used in other ways. Her view about staying true to myself to be successful is something I will be emulating.
So got applause from the audience. Fantastic. I just want to let you know, first of all, 4 minutes for your time. I loved this speech. I think that it was fantastic to hear about someone I wasn't familiar with and how she's influenced you in your life. And I love the quote, being true to yourself. I love that really resonated with you and stuck with you as it did. So Jamie, you're a natural speaker. You've got a nice pace, nice conversational style. You've got a really strong voice. You speak with authority and clarity. And I feel like you're making good eye contact about 40% of the speech. So there's a lot of really wonderful things going on here. One thing I'm going to encourage you to do is strive for 65 to 75% of the time you want to make that eye contact. So using those notes a little bit less, and being mindful of some vocalized pauses. You have just a few ums in there, not a lot, but enough to use silence and then move on. You know what I mean? So if we can think about what you said, usually when we put an in there, it's at the perfect time for the audience to reflect while we collect our thoughts. So it's perfect timing for you just to take a nice quick pause. This was really, really well done. I would love to hear Lindsay Stirling, just a little clip of music. Do you have something you could share or maybe help us listen to? I would love to hear just a little bit. Do you have anything that maybe you could?
Yeah, I do. Let me just go on here.
Dubstep and violin, so cool. Like I would have never put the two things together. So do you all know Lindsay Stirling? Some of you do, yeah. I don't know her, and I think I want to. Sounds interesting, especially since you admire her so much, Jamie.
This is a song called Round Table Rival. This is from her debut album.
I love it. It gave me chills. I'm not one for violin, but that's cool violin right there. That's really cool. I like that a lot. Well, thank you. I'm gonna have to check her out for myself. That was really great stuff. Thank you so much for sharing that message with us and leaving me with that great final thought there. So, so a few things that I want to talk with you guys about today. I know going to be a little bit redundant because there's some things I think are really important for you to prepare for the persuasive speech. So before we start looking at debates and start looking at argument and development, I want to share with you that persuasive speech rubric that I think is really going to help you to prepare mentally for what's ahead. And that way you know the expectation, because when we think about the comprehensive speech rubric, it's the culmination of all your efforts in this class. And I really want you to get the most out of it. So I'm going to navigate really quickly to that persuasive speech rubric. I'm just going to go to our home page in Canvas. And hopefully it takes you with me, but if it doesn't, actually I'm not going to home page, I'm going to go to modules, which is the tab that's open for you now. Did that just take you all to the module section? Can you all see that? Just, no, it didn't? Okay, I'm going to stop sharing and go there then. Does that look like modules for you now?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So and it's not quite perfect yet, but I promise I'll keep working on that till I get it just right. But I do want to take you to the outline draft first, so you can see what I'm grading you on. It's 50 points. And these are some things that I'm going to look for when you do your outline. Now, remember, I told you your draft needs to be typed. I know that you've been doing handwritten drafts in the past, so I really want you guys to feel comfortable moving forward into this. So you're going to want to type the draft, but I do give you lots of details on what the expectation is. And so this is something that you can look at and see if you feel good about it. But the big thing here, I think, is going to be some aspects of the introduction and conclusion that maybe you're not yet doing. And so in the introduction and conclusion, it says here that the speech includes all of the following aspects of the introduction and conclusion. So let's talk about that just for a second, okay? Right now, I think you guys are doing a great job of getting attention. So we know that the first thing that a good introduction needs to do, make sure you all can see this. Is it backwards? It sure is. All right. I might have to stop share. Bear with me. I'm sorry. This is the first time I've ever done a whiteboard in Zoom.
It's not correct.
It's not backwards on your end?
I don't see it backwards. No.
You can see introduction just like it would be on the board in class?
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay, so it's just doing that to me. Oh, thank you. All right, good. That's a good thing. All right, so I'll go back to that. Okay, so certain aspects of the introduction, okay, the most important aspects, of course, are going to be getting attention. And you all got that. You are making excellent attention getters, better than some of my students have been. Attention getting techniques, and I think that you all have this down. It looks like you have a really good idea of aspects of getting attention, including meaningful quotes. You know, you're capturing attention with shocking statistics or startling facts. You're interacting with your audience. You're maybe using humor. You're telling a story. Any of those ways of capturing attention are really, really valuable, and you're doing that really well. Something else that you'll want to do is you'll want to establish your credibility. And I'm seeing that you all are familiar with what I mean by this, and I saw this in Mr. Conley's notes, showing the audience what your connection is to the topic or why you chose the topic. What are your qualifications or your expertise? This is your credibility as a speaker, your connection to the topic, right? You're doing that. I'm seeing that. So I know that's something that you guys are comfortable with. You're also working really well to create common ground. Finding that connection between you and your audience. This is never going to be as important as it is when you're trying to challenge them. So if you're working to change their attitudes, change their beliefs, change their values in a persuasive speech, you've got to find that common thread, that common connection that you have with them. So creating common ground. I think Amazon just arrived. They rang the doorbell and that woke my dog up. Sorry. The last thing that it needs to do, okay, and this is the big one. This is the one I'm not seeing you guys do yet. Is you need to present your thesis. And this is the only thing that I think that I haven't really seen you all do yet. is present your thesis and your main points. Now I'm gonna make this the highlight here for just a second, okay? Right now I know it's hard to see in your side, but I want you to see all these aspects together. So introductions, they get our attention, they establish our credibility, they create common ground between us and the audience, and they present our thesis, right, just like an essay would. The thesis is the overall goal of your message. And here's the big one. It previews the main points. So it gives us a snapshot of what you're going to talk about in your speech. And the main points, usually there's 2 to 5, depending on your outline. But I'm seeing that you all are good with about three main points. You're going to preview those main points alongside the thesis. Now, why we do that and why that's so important is that the audience is only going to hear this message once. So previewing our main points lets us help them to mentally prepare for what they're going to hear. It allows us to build some redundancy in the message, meaning we're going to repeat it a few times. If we're repeating a few times what we're telling our audience, they're going to remember it, right? They're going to retain that information. It brings a lot of structure and organization to the message. So if I'm going to do a speech today, I'm going to present my thesis, and this will be the last thing I do before I go into the body of the speech. So I'm going to present my thesis, and I'm going to preview my main points in the same order that I'm going to present them. Now, one thing that I'm surprised you guys are doing that I would tell you not to do at this point, because your audience knows you, is you're telling us your name. If your audience knows who you are, you've told them a few speeches or you've been pre-introduced, you don't have to tell us who you are. Though I have to tell you, I was grateful that you did that when I was grading your speeches in video, because I didn't have your little names across the bottom of the screen. It was just your video. So it was good that you were telling me your name, because I wouldn't have known. But if your audience does know you, you don't have to tell them your name, right? That would be like overstating the obvious. They know you at this point. So don't worry about that in your introduction, but you do want to present your thesis. So today I'm going to talk about, and let's go back to the topics that you all had picked. Let's see. I think I just got Bradley's. Bradley, what did you say your topic's going to be? I saw it in the chat, but I didn't get a chance to write it down. Bradley, you there? Can you hear me? Bradley, what's your topic going to be? I think your mic is not working. Okay, so you guys are going to want your mics to work, because today you're going to be presenting something, okay? So we're going to want to get your mics going. But okay, so I'll pick somebody else. Let's see. Chelsea, what's your topic going to be for your persuasive speech?
Texting and driving.
Perfect, perfect. Texting and driving is a great one, okay? So today I'm going to tell you why it's important that we stop texting and driving. We'll look at the problems. We'll look at some of the causes of the dangers of texting and driving before I tell you some ways that you can solve this problem. So that would be me previewing main points. Now that's not the best approach for you, Chelsea. I'll let you find your own approach, and we'll talk more about that, I promise. But when I say previewing the main points, so right there's my thesis. My thesis is that we're going to talk about the problems of texting and driving. All right, so the first main point is the problem. The second main point are the causes, or the cause. Sometimes you have more than one. Usually you have more than one cause to a problem, right? And the last main point is going to be solutions. So when I previewed my main points here, I said, today I'm going to tell you about the problems of texting and driving. We'll look at some of its causes before I offer you some solutions to solve the problem. This is a really cut and dry kind of speech approach. Now, when we look at the problem of texting and driving, or the problems therein, here we're going to analyze what kind of challenges we're seeing. So what are the statistics? How many people are dying annually, right? How serious and significant is it? What does that problem look like? Is it something that's been getting worse or getting better? Is there a certain demographic that's more impacted than others, for instance? When we analyze the problem, we want our audience to understand that it is indeed significant enough for them to want to do something about it. So we might look at statistics, we might look at demographics, we might look at what other problem areas might you consider when you're trying to define the problem of texting and driving for your audience. Any ideas? Some things you can think of that would help you to understand that the problem is significant? How about the fact that most of us don't think it's going to happen to us? Like, that's the biggest one of all, because I can tell you I'm at a stoplight and I'm texting, right? But what does that do? That gives me a distraction. Well, it seems like it's safe to be at a stoplight. What if someone texts me back and I've already left the stoplight? Well, what am I tempted to do? I want to hurry up and finish this real quick, right? So I'm going to text them back. So I think one of the biggest factors for something like this particular issue is going to be looking at how relevant is it to everyone in the room. Could it affect me? I'm 42. Could it affect me just as much as it affects someone much younger or someone much older? Are we all at the same risk? You know, and what is that impact? So we can look at problems in terms of how do we analyze the problem. All of your topics going to give you a different analyzation of your problem, right? But most importantly, it's helping the audience to feel as if it's significant or relevant to them. If they don't think it's significant or relevant to them, getting to the idea of solution is going to be hard because solution requires action. So thinking about that, right? So this is a way that you present the thesis and preview the main points very simply, and this is simply put for your advantage, in a persuasive speech. And we'll talk more about what that looks like here for each of your speeches as we go. But I want you guys to get comfortable with the idea of your thesis and main points. So let's say, for instance, I'm going to tell you how, this is an example I use in my class all the time because it's an easy one. I'm going to tell you how to make lemonade. Today I want to tell you how to make lemonade. I want to talk with you about what ingredients you'll use, the preparation techniques, and finally some serving ideas. So first of all, I'm going to talk with you about the ingredients for making homemade lemonade. And I'll go on and I'll explore that, right? Next, now that you know what kind of ingredients you're going to need, let's talk about preparation. So we'll talk about the preparation technique. And here I will go step by step, right? I'll be maybe even like a if I was doing a Food Network's next Food Network start, I have all the stuff out and I'd be doing it. I'd be making the lemonade. Lastly, now that you know the ingredients for making lemonade, you know the preparation technique, let's talk about some great serving ideas. Now this is a super easy approach to an informative speech on how to make lemonade. All of your informative speeches, right, are going to have some structure and design in them. You're going to have your main points, which are Roman numerals, and I noticed you guys are doing that fine. But this is going to help prepare the audience mentally. It's going to help you to build your speech easily, thinking about how easy that can be to build a speech when you have your 3 main points isolated. You have your thesis and preview statement. Now for the conclusion, the summary is going to be a lot easier now. Because when I summarize, I'm just going to restate my 3 points. So today I told you how you can make lemonade using the right ingredients, the right preparation, and the right serving techniques. Now I'm going to leave you with a final thought as well, right? Hopefully now you know how to make lemonade and you can enjoy it with your family on a hot summer day here in Florida, sitting on the back porch, sipping some lemonade, just enjoying the warm summer breeze. There's my final thought, which you all have that down. So you have these fantastic conclusions. I think you have a really good idea about summary, but one thing I want you to think about when you're going to build your speech body, this is the skeleton of it, right? So what we often say as speech teachers, you're gonna tell them what you're gonna tell them in the introduction. You're gonna tell them what you came to say in the speech body. You're gonna remind them what you told them in the conclusion. Many of speech teachers will tell you that. It's just helping that create that redundancy. You're repetitive. And for you, once you get comfortable with that, it's gonna make your rehearsal so much easier. You guys with me? Easy, right? This is easy. You probably knew this already. I just want to make sure you feel good about that because I'm going to be listening for those transitions. I'm going to be listening for that preview, and I'm going to be listening for that summary in your final speech. And I want to give you all the points possible. But I also want you to get comfortable using that redundancy. Get comfortable with that speech development because that's going to make it easy for you to give impromptu speeches. It's going to make it easy for you to build those more formal ideas. And I mean, your topics are a lot more complicated than making lemonade. So you can imagine how helpful this structure can be to building those ideas in a way that's concrete, it's organized, it's succinct, and it helps the audience to really think about it. And it's probably something you've seen before. It's a lot like an expository essay, right? So it's something you can easily adapt from what you already know. And that's going to help you meet the requirements of that formal outline development for your outline drafts. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen one more time. Take you guys back into we're back into Canvas, and I'm just going to go ahead and navigate now to the final speech. I'm just going to flip through some stuff. There's that speech draft exchange, which we will talk a little bit more about here in the next couple of weeks. And I want to take you to those are some optional resources. All right, so the persuasive speech with a presentation aid. And this is the rubric that all of the speech teachers are using at the college. So it's not like I'm making you do something more than Mr. Conley would do. It's the same rubric we're all using. And so you can see here, it has that attention getter. It has that thesis statement. That thesis statement identifies topic and encompasses or previews main points. So that's what I'm getting at here. Organization, it uses effective organizational pattern for speech purpose. Main points are clearly distinguished from supportive details. And one way you can do that is just having really good transitions. So now that I've told you about the problem, let's look at some of the causes. Now that I've talked about the problems and causes of texting and driving, let's head over to those solutions or some other transitional phrase, but you want to move us from each main point clearly and intentionally. It's really intentional. Connection with your audience. So you've already done that. You've established your credibility. You've created common ground, and you've really worked to analyze your audience when it comes to your speech topic. Credibility, supportive evidence. Okay, so I know you guys are going to be working to build your sources into your speech. We've got language, clear, correct, concrete language. Increase message comprehension, free of grammatical errors. There's that conclusion, prepares audience for ending, reinforces purpose effectively, summarizes topic and purposes, ends memorably. All right, and here's delivery. So eye contact. So we want to be inconspicuous with our note use, but you can use your notes. We want to look as if we're not using notes at all. So that's the goal. Rate, delivery enhances message, uses pauses well in an intentional way. Volume and dynamics, nice projection, good strong voice. You're dynamic, meaning you're not monotone, but you have that nice vocal variety, those peaks and valleys in your voice. It sounds conversational, it sounds meaningful. You're able to relay tone as well. Articulation, no ums and ahs in there. If you can avoid it, you definitely want to be mindful of it. Body language, I'm seeing great body language from you all. You're using gesture meaningfully. So gesture can be used in a lot of different ways. Gesture can be used to emphasize an idea. It can also be used to emblemize. So stop, right? Or I think Jamie included 2 billion total views, right? You might go 2 billion total views because that's going to enhance that number. Or you might say, we don't know, we're not sure, right? So using ways to use emblem is a really powerful way to use gesture. Now you don't want to be all over the place, but you certainly don't want to be stuck and rigid. Like, what do I do with my hands? Have you ever felt like that? Like, I don't know what to do with my hands right now. You just want to let them go. And when you rehearse, incorporate gesture. And then we get into logical appeals. So the logos. And when we think about logos, we're using valuable reasoning, thoughtful reasoning, reasoning that makes sense. And there's a lot of logical fallacies. When you all read chapter 16, which I really hope you'll do, you'll look at those logical fallacies. We'll be thinking about structure and how that plays a part in logos as well here. And then pathos, some emotional appeals. So it's not just going to appeal to me, but it's going to appeal to my audience as well. When I sometimes give this example, I think about how you might establish credibility in the introduction and capture attention all at the same time, and also find a way to build some pathos into your speech. And some ways that we can do that is personal experience. So in fact, I actually had a personal experience about a year and a half ago. I had been looking for an old friend. I hadn't seen them since childhood. We were friends in our teens and 20s, actually. It's kind of like childhood for me, but I haven't seen them since then. And I was wondering about them, you know. Have you ever done that? You wonder about an old friend and you kind of maybe go to social media and look for them. I was looking for them. I was just like, I wonder what they're up to now. I just wonder if I could find them. And I hadn't heard from, it was him, his name is John. I hadn't heard from him in a really long time. And then I had been thinking about him. All of a sudden, he reaches out to me. And, you know, he says, you know, I've been thinking about you. He said, and I had some bad news come up. And he said, I just was really needing a friend. And I thought it was really weird that I was looking for him and he was looking for me. And he said, I found out that recently, he goes, I'm in the hospital right now. He said, I found out recently that I have cancer. And he's a young man. He's not much older than me. And he said, but even worse, I found out that I'm HIV positive. And I was shocked. Cancer and HIV, I thought, this is horrific. And he was scared, you know, he was really scared. He said, I didn't know, because I wasn't sick. He said, I came in here for an unrelated reason. And that's when I found out that my white blood cell count was so low and they tested me. He said, I know you're teaching college students. He said, and I thought this would be a really good time for me to say that you should tell them how serious this is, that this can happen to anybody. And I was just so moved by this, but you know, I was devastated too. And I worked with him to help find him resources. I found out he was very under-resourced, didn't know where to go, didn't have family, didn't have friends. And I worked with him to find resources. And I also, from that point on, worked to explain to students how important it is to practice safe sex. Like, I wasn't kidding. Like, I was like, this is serious. It can happen to anybody. It happened to him. And so since then, it's been part of my curriculum, or at least an example like this one, right? To emphasize that this can happen to anybody. And it doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. Anybody can get HIV and not know it. And so it's important to be tested and to be prevented, right? So I gotta say, he's doing well now. He's fighting the battle. Right now his cancer's in remission and he's on the antiviral drugs. So it's not a death sentence for him, but it is a prolonged battle. But I do tell students that this is a story that hopefully you can relate to, right? You have friends you care about, you have loved ones. You also know that you could be at risk. So it's a story that you could relate to that mattered to me. And now you can see that I have credibility, real credibility, in working to help students stay safe, right? Can you see that I have that credibility? So there's the narrative, there's the credibility, and hopefully some way, whether it's through this, you know, you can relate to it, or you know someone like this, or you yourself care enough, there's some pathos in there for you, right? There's an emotional connection. So if I was to go on and talk about, you know, practicing safe sex and preventing HIV, finding a solution and a cure, or even accessing those resources, that might really matter to you. So that's something I want you guys to think about when you're thinking of pathos. It starts from the beginning of your message. And it's really aimed at finding that connection between you and the audience, you and the solutions, and their perspective. I could talk at you all day. If it doesn't matter to you at all though, you're gonna turn me off and you're gonna stop listening, and you're not gonna feel that I'm being authentic. So that's where that connection lies, where that emotional connection, that bond is created or formed. You guys with me? That was a heavy example, but he's doing good and I'm really glad. But so your visual aid, you guys are gonna have to share a visual aid with us through Zoom. Have you done that yet? Shared a visual aid? Okay, good. Okay, good. So I don't have to tell you too much about that, but we will talk more about that as we go if needed. And then you're gonna be mindful of time. So these last three are just for us as a college. You're not gonna be graded on that. It says it's got some points, but those points won't impact you at all. You can see those points that you've received. So if you got all the points for analytical thinking, all the points for communication, all the points for information fluency, then awesome. Awesome sauce, right? But if you didn't, don't worry about that. It's not gonna impact your grade. It is something that we are keeping track of. It doesn't really link to you personally. It's more just we're trying to see that we're teaching the skills the students need in the class. Those are outcomes for the college. So the total for this speech for you all is going to be 200 points. So I'm just going to double everything you see here. So I want you to think about that. I'm going to double everything you see here. So it's going to be 10 points for that attention getter. It's going to be 10 points for the thesis. It's going to be 10 points for organization. So kind of looking at that, make sure that's something that you understand. And if you have questions, come to me. I'm going to help you. That's my part. That's the part I'm playing. So I'm here to help. Right now, do you have any questions for me? Do you think you know where to access this rubric? You can find that in modules. I want you to be able to find it. You can look at it. You can use it when you're preparing. Sound good? Please ignore the audience line there. You don't need to have an audience, obviously, because we are going to be an audience for one another. If you were taking this class online, that's what you would have to do there. So I'll just edit that. There we go. And of course, that due date is not accurate. Everybody's due date is going to be based on the day that they signed up for the speech. So the day that you
I
signed
still
up.
haven't been able to find it in modules, I don't think. Are you in student view?
I am not, but it is saying that it's published. Let's go to student view.
Okay. Maybe I just,
All right, let's go to student view. And now I'm going to hopefully navigate with you. But if you click that modules button,
modules, yep.
and then we'll scroll down, and there's that draft exchange for week 12 and then week 13. It's the persuasive speech with a presentation aid.
Okay.
Let's see if that's visible to you now. It says it is, but if it's not, we can definitely try to figure out what's going on.
Okay, yeah, because yours was called Persuasive Speech Outline Draft Submission.
There's another one. Yeah, that's going to be if you scroll back, if you go back, you'll find that in week, because that's going to be in week 12. That's going to be outline draft. So I navigated to a different one without telling you, I think. I'm sorry, Matthew, but we moved on to the week 13 module.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm just going to take the week 14 module out of here because that doesn't need to be here. And so the only thing you should see now are 11, 12, and 13 outline resources. So there's some outline samples for you. And some additional tools that you are welcome to use it as you see fit. Those are just for you. That's what you should see on your end.
Okay.
And that's in modules. Questions for me? All right,
Nope,
so
that makes sense now.
cool beans. Okay, so far I've shared with you the persuasive speech rubric. I shared with you the draft submission overview. We looked at building an introduction and talked about building a conclusion. Now I briefly want to talk with you a little bit about building an argument, because I have an activity planned today that I think is fun. And let's see, how many we got? Here we go. Okay, so we have 14 of you. I want to see you, so start your video, please. You got to be able to start your video, and you're also going to need to have access to your mic. Now, I think Kelly Ann is unable to meet physically. She's at a doctor's appointment, so she's listening in. So she's not going to be able to participate, I think, in our activity. If she is, we want her to, because we need it. We have a nice even number then. But Kelly Ann, if you're not able to right now, I understand. But if you are able to join us, it would be really helpful. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Yeah, I would like to have that. Okay, so I have an activity planned for you guys. I think it's a fun one. It's also going to be worth 50 points. Okay, so it's going to be part of your grade for the class. Let's see if I can go ahead and. Why is it not doing this? Okay, so I'm going to the chat. Is everybody able to see the chat on their end? Like normally you can see the chat, because I'm going to share a document with you. I'm going to share 2 different documents. I'm going to share a PDF of the debate. If you're someone that likes to print it and you have access to a printer, you can do that. So you can handwrite. Or I'm going to share with you the debate worksheet. And it is going to be a Word document. And I can put this in Canvas. Oops. Okay, so I'm sharing both of these with you right now. Why is it not connecting? Did you guys get the PDF? Did you see that come up? Okay. It's not gonna let me send you a Word document. I'm gonna put it, right now I'm gonna put it in Canvas. It's not gonna let me send it. And I'm just gonna go to the home page. Now you can also use a piece of paper, but if you're someone who you can open the PDF, but you can't print it and you want to handwrite it, that's fine with me. But I do want you to follow the design. And so I'll tell you about the design here in just a second of that format, because it's going to be formatted just like a speech. So what's helpful about that is that it gives you a chance to think about building your own speech outlines, and it's really meant to make it easy. So it's going to help take some of the challenges out of the argument. Give me just a second. I appreciate your patience. Okay, so that Word document is going to be uploaded to the syllabus page. So you can access it as a Word document. And it's the very last thing, and I will let you see it. So if we go back to the home page, it's going to be the very last thing. I just added it, so it happened just now. So it wouldn't have been there if you might have to refresh it. And you see it says Debate Word Document Docs. You can access that as a Word document and actually type into that. Now, if you're someone who likes to handwrite, which I like to handwrite, I would want to either print this because it's already done for me, or I want to build this on my handwritten sheet. So what I want you guys to see here, though, just very easily, I want you to see that it is a speech outline, okay? Starts with your name, so I'd put my name in, and then topic. Okay, let's say you're a cat lover, like I am, okay? And I'm not kidding when I say I'm a cat lover, okay? I'm truly a cat lover. I'm gonna do the topic cats versus dogs, okay? So I'm gonna put my topic in, and I'm gonna put my opponent's topic in. Now, if you're doing this at home, you'll have your name. You wanna have your name, right? You wanna have your topic, opponent's topic, and you don't have to write all this in, just make sure I can see what you got, okay? And then are you all able to see the debate Word document with me as I type in there? You're seeing me type in? Okay. All right, so let's look at this for just a minute. I'm gonna make the claim, a very simple claim, that cats are better than dogs, okay? Cats are better than dogs, that's my claim. So I'm gonna state my claim, which is my thesis. It's what I want you to agree with after I'm done with my speech. So it's also, shh, Maxie, it's also a conclusion. Does that make sense? The conclusion is cats are better than dogs. The thesis are cats are better than dogs because it's a claim. Now I gotta have some evidence. Why is that true? Why are cats better than dogs? Well, in a persuasive speech, your main points are going to be the reasons. It's gonna help you to build that evidence. So the first main point are cats are better than dogs because, right? So I would say because they're gentle. Cats are better than dogs because they're gentle. And you can see here, my first main point, cats are better than dogs, they're gentle. Now I have an A and a B. My A and my B are my subpoints. Every good argument has to have support. My A and B is going to be me proving that cats are gentle. Now I could say, according to a 2019 study, cats and dog owners compared the behaviors of these two animals, and it was indeed true that cats were more gentle than dogs. Or I might say, I mean, I have my cat in my hand. Who doesn't think of a cat as soft and sweet and purry? And then I have my dog right here, and you can see he's jumping all over me. So I can build my support however I can, but this is going to be my evidence to prove that cats are indeed better than dogs, okay? Because they're gentle. I've got to prove it. Okay, the second point, I don't know, cats are better than dogs because they're easier. Cats are easier than dogs. You don't have to walk a cat. No walking a cat. My son just says, Mom, you can technically walk a cat. He's listening to me out there. He's obviously feeling that, you know, there needs to be a rebuttal. So there's no walking a cat. Cats are easier than dogs because there's really no grooming a cat. Now I can develop these ideas. Can I prove it? Well, it's up to me to decide how I'm going to prove it. Now, when we think about evidence, we're thinking about supporting our ideas, and it doesn't always have to be the research. It doesn't always have to be what the research says. Though facts and statistics, those work as research, right? That's a really great source of research. But there's other kinds of research. We can use an illustration. We can use an example. We can use a narrative. Can you think of any other kinds of evidence? Facts, statistics, illustrations, examples, narratives, personal
experience.
Yes, personal experience. Can you think of anything else? We could have testimony, so I could ask the experts, right? They could testify. Those dog groomers can tell us, yeah, cats are much easier. I've never had a problem grooming a cat. In fact, I haven't even had to do much of it. Or I could ask my friends, tell me, you know, and they call that lay testimony. So we can have testimony. So we can find some ways to support those ideas. And then let's say the last one is you can go on vacation and not worry about boarding your cat. Vacations are easier. Cats don't mind being alone, so that would be A. Cats can be alone. And if I had a B, I can say, or cats can come with you. Most places wouldn't mind if you had a small cat. So I know you can't see this entire board really easily, but if I was to build an argument, this is a very simple argument, I could use this design pretty succinctly, right? I have my 3 main points, so cats are gentle, cats are easier, and cats vacation better. And then I would work to build my subpoints to support those ideas using facts, statistics, illustrations, examples, testimony, personal experience, or any other valuable support. Remember, we can think pathos and logos, and of course, credibility and ethos there. So those are that's some way that I might build my argument. Now, if you're going to choose your topic, you're going to build your argument in a very similar way. So if you can access this tool on your computer, that's going to be the easiest way. If you need to print it out, that's great, and you can handwrite it. Or if you want to build it on just a blank sheet of paper, that's fine. Just make sure that it makes sense to me. So you want to structure it like you would an outline. You with me? Make sense? Okay. So I'm going to stop this share really quick. And I'm going to share. Okay, so some people are getting some bad internet connection because of the storm. So, and Tamaya, I'd really love to see you get to a safe place. Are you headed home right now? I see you're in a car. Are you headed home right now?
Yes.
Okay, so if you can get to a safe place too, that would be good. All right, so it's good that you're here because it's nice to have more people. All right, so I'm gonna share, let's see, one more file. And this is gonna be the debate topic list. Actually, I'm just gonna share that here with you guys. Let me do that really quick. So you can see this would work more easily in a class, right? And I apologize that this isn't working as smoothly as I'd like, but I am gonna make it to where we can do something fun today, at least in part. All right. All right, so I have a question for you, okay? Do you agree that cats are better than dogs? I'm sure that there is a witty argument in this that each of you could have. Now, do you think it would be an easy topic to debate? The cat versus dog debate?
No.
Okay,
Both.
what's that?
I like them both. They're both good.
I agree, I do too. But I can fight a good fight for either one, right? So I think the best debaters can build an argument for any topic. So thinking about it that way, right? But you do want it to be kind of fun. So I have this debate topic list, and I'd like to get you all paired up so you can give a debate. Now I'm going to do my best to give you time to work today. We're going to try to get through our debates today, but if we don't, we'll pick it up next class. But here's what I don't want. I don't want you to take the time between now and Wednesday to write this amazing debate that's going to cripple all of us, and we're going to be just, floored, right? Because I want it to be an impromptu experience. So, and besides that, it wouldn't be fair to your opponent if you just wrote this amazing debate. Now, here's what I want to tell you, okay? This is a short debate. You're going to get a 1-minute argument for your topic. You can use your debate sheet. So my 1 minute would be using my debate sheet to explain why cats are better. They're gentle, they're easier, and they're great vacationers, right? So that would be my 1-minute debate. And then my opponent gets 1 minute debate to argue why, and based on their argument that they've developed, why dogs are better. Okay, so that's going to be the sheet that you work with. And then I get 30 seconds to take my opponent's argument and rebuttal or refute it. And then you get 30 seconds to take my argument and rebuttal or refute it. So they're 3-minute debates. They're really short. They're really succinct, but you can actually get a lot in there in 1 minute. So it's meant to be fun. And I gave you the worksheet to work with, but now we got to get you to choose a topic. So if I really want to do rap, but nobody chooses rock, I can't do rap. Somebody has to choose to be the opponent. So keep that in mind. So we'll go through the list, but you might want to have 2 topics in mind. I'm going to go through the list really quickly with you, and then have 2 topics in mind so we can find you an opponent. I want everybody to play, so you get the 50 points, and even Kelly Ann, to the point where you will have to maybe get you to do it next time, okay? Since we are going to have some people do the debate next class. So hopefully, Kelly Ann, you can hear me and you can jump in.
I'm in it now.
Oh, cool. It's nice to see you. So you'll pick a topic, okay? So I'm going to go through the list really quickly, have a couple topics in mind, and we'll try to team you guys up, okay? So the first topic, rap versus rock, rural versus city life, giving a gift versus receiving a gift, hot weather versus cold weather, beer versus wine, dieting versus eating whatever you want, basketball versus football or soccer or some other sport. It can be 2 different sports even. I'm cool with that. Dirty versus clean, which is such a fun argument. It sounds weird, but it can be really fun. Who doesn't like a mud pie, seriously? Christmas versus your birthday, going to a movie versus renting a movie, cake versus pie, dogs versus cats, books versus magazines, running versus biking, the beach versus the mountains, Coke versus Pepsi, Coke please, Mac versus PC, or Apples versus Windows, or Android versus Apple, whatever. There's some loyal Apple users, I know. Anybody a loyal Apple user? You wouldn't use anything else? Yeah, you could argue for the Apple. Chocolate versus vanilla, day versus night, Disney World versus Universal, living at home versus living on your own, or maybe if we needed a 3-person team, telephone versus texting versus email, or even telephone versus texting, whichever, or whatever you guys want to do there. So there's a little bit of flexibility here with these topics. You can be creative in your approach, right? Nobody's saying that when you talk about Christmas versus your birthday that you have to be like, oh, it's all about me, right? It doesn't have to be. You can make it whatever you want. This is your topic. Now we got to pair you up. So I have to stop the share to do this so I can see everybody raise their hands, because otherwise I can only see half of you at a time, okay? So does anybody want to do rap versus rock? Anybody want to do rap? Anybody want to do rock? All right, anybody want to do rural versus city life? Okay, Kelly Anne, did you want to do rural versus city life? Which one did you want to do?
I've lived in both. It doesn't matter. I'll do either.
Does anybody want to do one of those, rural versus city life?
I wanted to do rural.
Who said that?
Haley.
Haley. Okay, Haley will do rural. Kellyanne, you'll do city. All right,
Okay.
now I'll put you all down. And you all can start building your arguments. Since you have the worksheet, just start working on it and it gives you a head start. So it's kind of nice. All right, so does anybody want to do giving a gift versus receiving a gift? Giving a gift, receiving a gift? I'm all about receiving the gifts. Doesn't mean I'm selfish. I like giving them too, but I like getting them. No? Okay. How about hot weather versus cold weather? Okay, Jamie, which one did you want to do? I can't hear you. Got to unmute your mic, my friend. Sorry.
Hot weather.
Hot weather. Tamaya, do you want to do cold weather?
No.
Anybody
I'll
want to
pick
do
another
cold?
one then.
What's that?
I'll pick another one then.
Okay, who wants to do cold weather against Jamie?
I'll do cold weather.
Okay, I can't. It's going to be rock, paper, scissors it. Emma or Shayla? So
Okay.
which one of you really, really wants it? You really want to do the,
I'll pick another one.
okay. All right, Emma and Jamie. So Jamie, hot weather, Emma, cold weather. All right, thank you. Thank you, Shayla. Okay, beer versus wine. You gotta be 21 for this one. I just would be unethical otherwise, all right? I don't wanna get in trouble. Yeah, nobody's picking now. All right, fine. Dieting versus eating whatever you want. Anybody wanna do it? Okay. Which one, Miles?
I'll do the dieting part.
Dieting? Alexandria, do you wanna do eating whatever you want?
I'm not doing eating unhealthy.
What about working out though? You do working out. You could really emphasize the benefit of that. Hey, you can eat 200 pizza rolls if you burn off 200 pizza rolls, okay?
No, it doesn't work that way.
Oh, you can't do it. Okay, all right. Anybody want to compete against Miles and do eating whatever you want? All right,
Sure,
Bradley, you
I
got
know.
it. Bradley, you got it. Bradley, you're going to do eating whatever you want?
Yeah, I can do that.
All right, Miles and Bradley, you all can get to work. Sounds fun. All right. So I haven't been writing your names down, so I hope you know which one you're doing. I got a little carried away here. Okay, basketball versus football or soccer. All right, James, which one did you want to do?
I can do basketball, that's okay.
Okay, anybody want to go against James? He wants to do basketball. Okay, Allie, which one did you want to do?
I'll do. Can I do hockey instead of? Okay.
Yes, that would be so fun. I've never heard a debate for hockey, so I would love it. And I hear the thunder on your end of the world, so you all, I understand that if you get cut off, we'll catch up to you. All right, so Allie and James, you all can start working on your argument. Anybody want to do dirty versus clean?
I'm sorry to ask, where is the link? I still couldn't find it in the syllabus.
The
is
link.
it the syllabus or discussions?
The link for what? I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. It's I'm sorry. I can't stand up for too long, so I got standing up and sitting down. It's
Oh
for
no,
the-
James, you're here
for
to
the
give
day.
us. James, you're in the wrong class, my friend.
Oh, thank
You
goodness.
can't compete. Yeah, you can't. You don't get to compete. I'm sorry. You're actually my online student, so
My
it's nice to
fault.
see you. I didn't realize. I was like, wait, is there a James in this class too?
No,
I'm sorry. I'm
That's
sorry.
okay. I was wondering. I was like, whoa, is this extra credit or something?
No, this would be fun in an online class, but it would be hard, I think. So we got to find somebody to compete with Allie. She's going to do hockey. Who wants to do a sport?
Okay. So I'll just
James,
sit
can
down
I
then.
catch up to you in a little bit? I'll call you back, okay? I'll catch
Alright,
up to you. I promise. I'm sorry. It was nice to see you, though.
Nice to see you guys too. Sorry about that.
That's okay. We were Zoom bombed. Anybody want to compete against Allie? I would love to hear that hockey debate. Of course, if you're already got a debate, you can't do this. Allie, maybe you have to choose a different topic. I'm sorry. Let's get you to choose a different topic. I'm sorry for that confusion.
I can do one with that. I can do one with her.
You want to do it with her? Okay, Jason, which topic are you going to do?
How about we'll do kickboxing?
Ooh, that would be so fun. That is a really cool debate. Or you all have some fun putting that together. We still have a few of you who haven't picked, and I'm afraid I'm going to lose you because I hear the thunder right outside my door. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to assign you these topics, let you work on them, and we'll come back on Wednesday, okay? And we'll do them. Does that sound safe? for everybody?
Yeah,
Get you off-
I already lost power once.
I think I'm going to lose power here any minute, but I want to get you all a topic. So those who haven't chosen one, let's get you to choose one. And those
Can I
who,
choose mine real quick?
what's that?
Clean.
Okay, who said that? Somebody's
Shayla.
voice. Shayla. Anybody want to do dirty? Dirty can be you can interpret that however you want, okay? It can be a lot of fun. Like messy, people can be messy, disorganized, and still be brilliant. Some of the most disorganized people are the smartest. Anybody want to do it? I think with COVID, nobody wants to be dirty right now. I think we're just too clean of a society. I don't know if it's going to work, Shayla. All right, let's go on to the next one. Christmas versus your birthday. Anybody want that?
I'll do Christmas.
Anybody want to do your birthday?
I guess I can do birthday.
Okay, Chelsea and Shayla, go for it. Have fun. Have fun. All right, going to a movie versus renting a movie. Okay, we'll skip. Cake versus pie. There's wedding cake, there's blueberry pie. I mean, it's just too hard. All right, dogs versus cats. Anybody want to do it?
Me.
Who said
Can I
that?
do dog?
Who said dog?
Me.
Tamaya wants to do dogs. Anybody want to do cats? Anybody want to do cats? I don't think anybody wants to do cats, Tamaya.
No.
This happens to me every semester. Nobody wants to do cats. I don't know what that is. All right, let's keep going. Books versus magazines.
Your birthday.
Running versus biking. The beach versus the mountains. The beach versus the mountains. Coke versus Pepsi. How about Apple versus Android? Or Mac versus PC? Uh-oh, we're running out of topics. Chocolate versus vanilla. Day versus night. Day versus night is a good one. Who hasn't got a topic yet? We're gonna have to get you one because I'm running out of topics.
I would do like waking up early versus staying up late for that day versus night thing.
Your day can be anything, right? It doesn't have to be what it's.
I would do the day. I'm not a night person.
Does anybody want to do night? Come on, night creatures. Matthew, you want to do it? All right. All right. So Amelia and Matthew. Amelia's doing day. Matthew's doing night. Anybody want to do Disney World versus Universal? Living at home versus living on your own? Telephone versus texting or email? All right, so who still needs a topic? I know Tamaya needs a topic. Allie needs a topic. I'm guessing you guys know. You got a topic, Allie? That's right, you guys did get a topic. Okay, good.
I'll do the living at home versus staying on your own.
Anybody want to do, which one did you want to do?
I'll do living at home.
Anybody want to do living on your own? Okay, who still needs a topic? I need hands because I don't remember. Who still needs a topic? Anybody? Okay, I know we had even numbers.
I don't mind.
There's one more person that still needs a topic because there's 14 of you. Miles, did you get a topic?
Isn't it Emma? Emma, aren't you the other one that needs a topic?
No, I have one.
Didn't the other person leave?
No.
No, I think that was Allie, but Allie and Jason are working together now. That's right. Miles, did you get a topic?
I did. I'm with Bradley doing dieting versus eating unhealthy.
Uh-oh, I'm counting
What?
myself. All right, that's what I'm doing. And James threw me off. Okay.
I don't
Oh.
mind doing two.
Who wants to, let's see, who wants to do two? Anybody want to do two? I'll give you extra credit.
I'll do two.
All right,
I
so,
like
okay, Tamaya, which topic did you pick?
Living at home.
Okay, so we need someone to do living on your own.
I'll do it.
All right, sounds good. So you'll do 2 sheets, okay?
All right.
And I'll give you 10 extra credit points
Okay.
and a social distance hug because I appreciate it. I really do. All right, Tamaya, so when you get home safe, you can start working on that, okay? All right, everybody knows their topic? Thank you so much for being patient with me, you guys. I got to try this out for the first time, and I appreciate your patience and your willingness to participate. Do you have any questions about the resources that I shared with you online or the debate? All right, it's a 50-point debate. I am wanting to see this worksheet, so you'll want to work on the worksheet. I don't mind if it's handwritten as long as I can read it and you can get it to me safely. You can take a picture of it and submit it. Miles, yes.
Do you want these sheets turned in like the night before for the debate, or okay?
At the time of your debate. And they don't, remember, they don't have to be like a too formal of an outline. Just that structure is what I'm looking for.
All right,
So,
thank you.
No problem. Any other questions for me?
Yeah, my power went out, so I missed a lot of the paperwork part.
Okay,
So I got my internet back. I mean, all this is in the module, or?
It is. The resource is there. If you actually, I put the worksheet in the syllabus because I thought it would be the easiest to find from class. So if you go to the syllabus and scroll all the way down, you'll find that worksheet.
Okay.
And it's meant to be super easy, but Jason, if you have any questions, because I did talk it through, I will happily go over it with you. So just let me know.
All right.
Even if
No
you
problem.
want to communicate via email, that'd be okay too.
Sounds good.
Any other questions? All right, so you all have some fun with this. Spend about 25 minutes. I wouldn't spend more than 25 minutes on preparation. And then when we meet on Wednesday, we'll do the debates and we'll talk a little bit more about the persuasive speech. Make sure everybody's feeling comfortable with it and outline arrangement. You'll want to be here. I am going to share a resource with you that's a recorded lecture to help you prepare for your persuasive speech, but this will be some time for Q&A, and plus the debates are worth 50 points. So you'll want to be in class. All right, I'll see you on Wednesday.
Yeah, everybody.